Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and this is going to be our next part 5 of this BMI calculator app using .NET MAUI. So far in last video we have refactored our app. So for this male, female and these buttons we have created these controls. We are using bindable properties and all these things. So I would recommend you guys to check out the previous parts. I'm going to put links of all previous parts in the description, and for last videos part I will add that in I button as well. So now let's continue on this functionality. So whenever we click on this button, we are calculating the BMI value. So we don't need this thing. We are calculating BMI value, that is this. So next thing, we need to show this design, and this button should change to this reset button in this case when we click on this. So first thing, we need to show this BMI value, and then we need to show this message. So this message, it will come from this thing. So if it is less this BMI value, on the basis of this BMI value we are going to have this. So what we can do, let's let's create a view model here. Public class view model, let's call it BMI view model, and we will have these properties, this BMI and this BMI status text, these two properties here. So let's have it as string and BMI. Yeah, let's have it BMI only, and next thing is BMI status. Okay, for these two, and then next thing we will have the current button's state. If we are currently in calculating mode, we have calculated or no. So let's have it as a boolean property, and we will have it calculated. Let's have it as is calculated, so it's passed. And this BMI view model, let's, if we are using the dependency injection, we could register this BMI view model in our solution, yeah, in our MAUI program, but for this video let's not use it. So we will have a private variable of this, let's call it view model only, or in this thing we will say view model equals new BMI view model, and then we will set this current page binding context as this underscore view model. Next thing, because this is, let's have it here only for now, maybe we will move it to separate file later. So we have these three things. So this BMI, let's, instead of this thing, let's have it like this, underscore view model dot BMI, and this BMI is of a string, so we don't need this as a string, we need this as decimal. Okay, let's have one more property here then, or maybe let's have it as string only, but here we will say BMI, then we will transform it. So we will say view model dot BMI equals, now this BMI is in double, so let's change it to string, fine. And then this BMI status, so for this status let's add a private, it could be static, we don't need anything right now, so get BMI status, let's call it like this. And for this we will use double BMI value, and we will add if else conditions here. So if it's less than 18.5, if BMI is less than 18.5, then we are going to return less than 18.5 underweight. Next thing, let's have it from 18.5 to 24.9. So if BMI after that, if it's less than 24.9 and less than equals to 24.9, then we will return normal. After that 25 to 29.9, I'm having these upper limits only because the lower boundary will be covered by the previous if or else if condition. So less than equals 29.9. If that's the case, then we will return overweight. And if it surpasses all those 30 and above, we will simply return obese. So we should be good now. You could have switch case statement or any other approach you want. So for this get BMI status, let's have it view model dot BMI status. It will be get BMI status. We will pass this BMI. So we have this, and after this we need to set is calculated. View model dot is calculated. What is the problem? Oh, sorry. View model dot is calculated as true. Now we don't need these things, so let's remove this. We have all these values now. Now let's go to this main page, and main page, let's tell it that the type of this is this BMI view model. It is coming from BMI calculator. Do we have a namespace for this? No, right? So first let's add a namespace, or maybe let's call it local BMI calculator, and this data type would be BMI view model. So now we can access these these view model properties. So BMI status, and is calculated. First thing, when we say is calculated, where is it? This button, this BMI button control, this button, it should come only if we have not calculated. So for this we will define its is visible. It will come from binding, and we will say what is it? Why isn't this thing coming? Is calculated. Adding auto property requires restarting the application. Oh, okay, no problem, it will come. So if is calculated is true, then it should be visible. If that's not the case, it should not be visible. So if that's not the case, then what it should display? It should display, instead of right arrow, we have that reset button, and we have the name of the reset button's icon is images reset. So in that case we will show reset, and in that case it should be reset BMI pressed, like this. Let's create this. Fine. And now it should be opposite of this is calculated. So with this is calculated, let's create one more property which will be is not calculated, and this will be opposite of is calculated, and it should be automatically. Now we need to notify changes for all these, so we will use INotify property changed explicit. Let's implement the interface, and then for BMI we need to stop this because we are going to make so many CS changes. So we need to change these to full property now. So what we can do, maybe we can instead of our custom view model, we can use community toolkit. Okay, but for now let's have it custom only. So I notify property changed. So for this BMI we will have let's have all these as full properties. Okay, so first thing, prop full string BMI, and this is fine, return BMI. But when we are setting this, I like expression body properties and methods. So for set, after setting it, we will tell that this property has been changed. So property changed dot invoke sender is this, and property changed event args is name of this property, which is BMI, and this. Let's do same thing for others. Next one is BMI status. Let me do this. Okay, so I have added these BMI status, BMI is calculated, all these properties as full properties with big field, and I am notifying it whenever this property's value is being changed. But here when we are changing is calculated, at that time we need to notify for this is not calculated as well. So at this time we will say that property has changed for is calculated and is not calculated for both of these. Now we should be good. If we go here for the second button, we would say if is calculated, then if it not calculated, then the first calculate button should appear, and when we have already calculated, at that time this reset BMI button should be shown. Okay, and when we click on this calculate BMI, this button here, we don't need this async now. We have BMI, we have modified these fields, and when we done this, after that we need these two things, change this button. So this is done using these things. Next thing is this UI. So instead of this UI, what we have currently, we minimize this, we have currently, it should change to this thing. So for this we can have same binding this calculated and is not calculated buttons on this vertical stack layout. So this first vertical stack layout, it should be visible only if BMI is not calculated, then it should appear. And if that's not the case, if it is calculated, then this main setting the main design, this row, padding, spacing, all this should be same. Then we should show these things. So this, the BMI tables, I'm not going to use it. You could have it like a button or label, and on clicking on this you can launch an URL with the table of these mappings, but I don't have that, so I'm going to skip this. We will have these three things, 1, 2 and 3. So first thing, your BMI, this text is static, so let's have it static text, your BMI. Or maybe let's design it in runtime. So let me run the app. Okay, so the app is here, and if we click on this, yeah, it changes to this. We have this new button, and then we have this your BMI text. So let's move it here, and then next thing is, after your BMI we should have this thing. Okay, so this your BMI, the font size, I think it's fine. Font attributes, it should be bold, and then the next text, this thing. So let's have it from binding, and we will use BMI value here, and this is not good because it is taking the complete value. Okay, 2.35, something is not right. It shouldn't be like this. 170 centimeters, 68 kg, 2.35, something is not right. Okay, we'll fix it, but before that we can design it. So font size, let's have it 50. Okay, font attributes bold only, and the color, text color property, it should be set to this whitish color. So let's have it this color. Okay, and after that there should be a next label for this text, will be binding, and it should be BMI status, and for this we will show a string format, and that will be you have, or maybe we can have this directly from here, because this, okay, instead of great job, let's have a, okay, or maybe let's change these things here. So instead of this status, we'll have the complete line. Okay, you have under, yeah, or say you are underweight. This we can say you have a normal body weight. Job, you are overweight, and here we will say you are obese, and this color is green, so maybe we can have a color as well. Okay, so instead of this single thing, let's return status and color both. So status, we are going to use value tuple, and next thing is color, or color. Fine, we will return like this. Okay, and then the second thing, we will use colors dot green and fine. So for this first one, normal body weight, green is fine. Obese, let's have it as red, dark red. Now this is a warning. So warning means let's have it as yellow. And the underweight, let's have it like maybe blue. Okay, and then for BMI status, we are getting at BMI status. It is returning two values, status and color. So on this thing, let's have one more property, and it will be no, not color. It will be of type color, or let's call it as status color. Status color, and let me copy this, have it here, status color, copy, and this thing, fine. So the status color, we will say, we will assign these two values here, status color, fine. So we are good. What is the issue for this? Say height slider does not exist, and that's because we have this open-ended. Okay, now we can get rid of this binding BMI status, and then we will have text color, and this also we will get it from our view model. So it will be status color. We need to have some default value for this, so let's have the default value as blue only, fine. So we are good now. Let's save everything. And we're missing something here. Fine, so we need to rerun the app, save all. Okay, let me stop the app and rerun. Okay, so it's here. Let's click on this, and we have this. You are underweight. Fine, so the design is okay. Font size, and for this font size is, maybe we can increase a bit. So font size, let's have it somewhat 18. Okay, looks fine. Next thing is this 2.35, we need to have it as 2 decimal places only. And where is this BMI.toString? So let's have it like n2. We can have it like this, or maybe we can have it using math.round, but for now let's have it like this. And next thing, we need to work on this reset button. So we already have this reset button pressed. Now we need to reset our view model. So we could have a method in our BMI view model to reset all these properties. So let's have a method public void, let's call it reset. So for this we will use our BMI value to be, okay, now here comes not problem, but let's have it as string.empty. Then after BMI we have BMI status. Let's do this also, string.empty. Next thing is we have age calculated. Let's have it as false. Before that we have status color, so let's have it as default blue color. So reset is fine, and before resetting we need to reset these sliders as well, right? So sliders, and if we go in here we have minimum value for these sliders. So we should reset these to minimum values, that is this. So for these values we could get these from, okay, first thing let's try to have it here. So we have height slider dot value was 10, and same thing for weight slider. After that we can call view models reset button, reset thing, and it should do all the things. But what if we have these values in reset in this thing only? So let's have two more properties here. That would make more sense actually. Let's have two more properties here. So I'll use prop full int, and let's have it min height. Okay, min height. Fine, min height, and we will use the same thing for this min height. Oh no, not min height. Not min height. It should be height actually. If we have this static min height, then there is no point of having it in here. We can have this only, and for setting these, this is also fine. For height we had minimum value as 10, and for weight, okay, for both we had minimum value as 10. Okay, let's, so 10 should be fine, and then we are resetting it, and in resetting we are resetting all these values, and we are setting is calculate to false. It will fall back to the default case. Let's rerun the app. So it's here. Let's calculate. We have your BMI 0.00, you are underweight, and 0.00. What is the issue? Let's check, reset, and we are here 10 centimeter, 10 kg. This is working. Okay, this, and let's have it this. Click on it. We are here. BMI is 2.49, but why is it 2.4? Height in meter. Height was in centimeter. Okay. So in order to change this height to meter, instead of multiplying it, we need to divide it by 100. Okay, so in that case, the value should be, okay, let's do this. Fine, let's move this up again. .1, weight is 10. Okay, because of the default value. Height in meter. Let's stop it and rerun the app. Okay, so the app is here. Now let's try it. We clicked on it, came here, height in meter is 1.7, weight is 68, and now BMI is 23.5294, and now this BMI is 23.53. That means it's working. Status color is green, wait and let's continue, and it is working fine. Your BMI is this, you have a normal body weight, great job. Let's reset, let's have some random values. You are obese, let's reset. Underweight. So everything is working fine now, right? So we can move around these values, we can do this. Okay, and on this stage we should disable these, right? These height width sliders, we should disable these. Yeah, let's do this also. So we have these sliders. On these sliders we can set is enabled, and we can get bindings. These will be enabled only if is not calculated. If the BMI is calculated, then this should be disabled, and we cannot move around this. And if we change it, yeah, now we can move around this, calculate, and now we cannot do this. So everything looks fine now. So we have completed this app, everything is working as expected. The only thing is this is not the okay, maybe for this thing. So you see the part after decimal, they have this kind of superscript. So the way we can achieve this, we can break this BMI down into two values, the before decimal and after decimal. Then we can have two different text labels, and then we can design these separately, so it will have the same what we have right now. And for the second part, we can have smaller font size and the vertical options as the start. So it will look like this. Maybe it's for you guys. If you want to do it, you can try it. And for now we are good with this app. So please like this video. If you like this content, share this video and subscribe my channel for more videos. I'll be back very soon with some other project. Bye bye.